Hey there, Knight here. What's up, guys? How are you doing? I hope you're doing well, because today on this channel, 5 fantasy anime where the protagonist is an overpowered weapon master. What I'm trying to say is just that he's going to master some weapon and be powerful with that weapon, whether it's a bow, a firearm, a sword, or even a shield. And don't worry, because there won't be obvious anime like Tate no Yusha, Arifureta, or Sword Art Online. As usual, the anime from the thumbnail is a bonus anime. At some random moment, it will show up on your screen. All you have to do is stay alert so you can catch the name. And drop that comment saying what's the next list you want to see here on the channel. Seriously, if it's a good theme, I'll do it. And take the chance to help me hit the like goal, which is 1 like for every account you have on YouTube. Now, let's go to the video. Well, in this first anime on the list, the world is going through a catastrophe. Due to the power of 100 million Excaliburs that are scattered around the world. At first, every Excalibur is a sword, but it can change form depending on the user. It could become a machine gun, a bow, a fishing rod. It can even become a Megazord. I don't know, man. Maybe it depends on your imagination. But anyway, the organization that governs world safety decided to send 6 Excalibur users to the past, more specifically to ancient Great Britain, to eliminate the weapons that are causing problems in the present. So that's why in this anime we'll have 6 protagonists, starting with Danchu, the team captain, who has a sword as a weapon. Second, we have Tekken, who has gauntlets as a weapon. Third, we have Renkin, who uses a hammer as a weapon. Fourth, we have Kaka, who has a black grimoire as a weapon. Fifth, we have Ruru, a gunslinger. And lastly, we have Yamaneko, who has a bazooka as a weapon. And all of them are accompanied by a fairy as support. Right, in the first episode, a seer from ancient times had a vision of the protagonists going back to the past with the goal of destroying the weapons. Consequently, the Excalibur users from that time found out and gathered to eliminate the protagonists. And the guys didn't come in 5, 10 or 15, no, the guys came in 1 million. Basically, that's it. You're going to see them traveling through the ancient world to destroy the weapons, and also improving their teamwork, a pretty unknown anime, which I didn't even know about, so if you haven't seen it yet, go watch at least the first 3 episodes so you can decide if you're gonna keep watching or not. Deal. Now at number 2 we have Saikyou Tank no Meikyuu Koryaku, which is going to tell us the story of a boy who was abandoned along with his sister when they were still children, and his sister has an incurable disease. For that reason, he grew up trying to become an adventurer, because according to legends, when someone clears a labyrinth, they receive a secret treasure that can grant any wish. So with that item, he could cure his sister. And everything was going well. He became a tank-class adventurer with 90 and 99 defense, and managed to join the hero's party. However, he was kicked out and humiliated by the hero, because during a labyrinth exploration, due to some unknown ability the protagonist has, his defense was broken, which put all of them at risk. So after being expelled from the group, he decides to go back to his hometown to see his sister again. But on the way back, he finds a homunculus girl being chased by a snake monster. After saving this girl, she reveals that she has the appraisal ability, which is very rare in that world. She appraises the protagonist and tells him what his abilities are, starting with the provocation skill, which draws the enemy's attention. Second, the healthy body skill, which makes him immune to status effects and increases the speed of his natural healing. Third, there's life conversion, which allows him to convert lost defense into a powerful attack. And finally, the sacrifice shield, which lets him take all the damage in place of his group. Now that he knows what his abilities are, he's going to form a clan, make new companions, explore labyrinths to try to find a cure for his sister, and also become an existence as powerful as a demon lord. Man, you know the city of Tokyo? So, in this third anime on the list, it was destroyed because a weapon that the Tokyo government was developing exploded, devastating the entire city, and this explosion spread an unknown rust disease that affects the human body, causing rust on the skin, bones, organs, and blood. After a short time affecting the human body, the person dies. Here we have 2 protagonists, Milo and Akaboshi. But starting with Milo, he is a renowned doctor in the city of Imirama, a large city surrounded by a wall to protect its inhabitants from the rust disease. Milo has been studying a cure for this disease because his sister contracted the rust disease. Everything was fine until Akaboshi appeared in the city of Imirama. But Akaboshi is a guardian of mushrooms, and everyone thinks the mushrooms are the ones spreading the rust disease, when in fact it's spread by a wind generated by the city of Imirama itself. But since everyone thinks the mushrooms are spreading the disease, Akaboshi is a wanted criminal by the police. So, Akaboshi is going to fight against the Imirama police, and he will meet Milo because he's looking for a doctor to cure his master, who also contracted the rust disease. He tells Milo that the mushrooms combat the rust and that there is a supreme rust-devouring mushroom. So, wanting to find a cure for this disease, they will go on an adventure together to find the supreme rust-devouring mushroom. This anime is amazing. I watched it when it was released and I loved it. I highly recommend it. Well, the fourth anime on the list takes place in a world where small villages and large cities are constantly destroyed by monsters that want to feed on the population. To prevent the end of the world, to prevent the extinction of humans, a magical academy was created to train people who can make contracts with ancient heroes to manifest their power and fight against the monsters. Everything begins when the protagonist's city is attacked and its inhabitants devoured. And when the protagonist is cornered, ready to accept death, the president of the student council from the magical academy arrives and saves his life. Then, he takes the train with her to go to the academy, but on the way, they are attacked by an extremely powerful monster, a monster that was almost defeating the president. However, at that moment, the invocation of a legendary hero appears in front of the protagonist, and he makes a contract with this hero. Now, of course, he uses the power of this hero along with the president to defeat that abomination. Soon after, they arrive at the magical academy, and the president introduces him to the student council, saying that he will be part of the team that fights on the front line to defend the city. However, they don't accept him as part of the team because they doubt the protagonist's strength. The next day, while he was in the alchemy department, the city was attacked by a dragon that was being studied by the alchemists, and at that moment, the protagonist shows why he is called the protagonist of the anime. After this feat, they accept him into the team that fights to defend the city, and from there, you will see him engage in several battles, showing the true power of the hero he made the pact with, as well as a sinister secret involving the protagonist. Now just imagine that you are a count who manages a small town situated in a remote region far from the imperial capital, and everything was calm. You were living a peaceful life and providing a peaceful life for your subjects. However, you were called to participate in a war that was happening between the country of Brune and the country of Jacted. As a count, you cannot refuse. You must participate in the war to defend your country. So, you go there, equip yourself, and gather your men to participate in the war, and despite everything, the Prince of Brune ridicules you for bringing so few men, and for using outdated equipment, archaic equipment, such as, for example, a fine leather armor. But no worries. Your side's army has 25,000 soldiers, while the enemy army has only 5,000. Looking at the numbers, it will be an easy war to win. However, it was a massacre. The enemy side had Eleonora, a war maiden who commands the power of the wind. In an attempt to buy time for your side to retreat, you try to eliminate the enemy leader but end up failing and getting captured as a prisoner of war. However, to your luck, Eleonora fell in love with your skill with the bow, so she wants you to stay with her, taking you to demonstrate your skills. During training, someone tries to attack Eleonora, and even though you use a completely worn-out bow, you manage to hit the enemy's foot from a great distance, thus gaining respect and morale with the soldiers. Later that night, one of your subordinates comes to warn you that Brune, your own country, is marching to attack your town. Desperate, you go to Eleonora and ask to borrow her soldiers, and, unbelievably, she agrees, as long as your town becomes part of her territory from now on. And that's basically it. You'll follow the protagonist as he meets new war maidens, gains a kind of mysterious power, and participates in several battles, a pretty interesting anime for you to watch. Well guys, that was the video. I hope you found an anime that caught your attention to watch, because honestly, that's the most important thing about this video. If it was useful to you in any way, leave that like, that cool comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet, so you can keep getting the next videos. Have a great day to all anime watchers, take care, and see you next time.